All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're back again with another live stream, bringing you the latest in Chelsea transfer news, Chelsea everything. So good to have each and every one of you guys here live. The weekend is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's definitely upon me. I'm at the moment 7:46 p.m. Friday evening. Looking forward to a buzzing weekend. Of course, we've got the second game in the preseason coming up against Brighton. Wow. What a match this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. The Moises Caicedo derby. Is he going to play first half for maybe Brighton, second half for Chelsea? What's going on with Moises Caicedo, ladies and gentlemen? Is this deal happening? Is this actually going to happen? Like, where are we with this? The player apparently is now pleading. He's told Zerbi, let me go. I want to leave. He's also told the Brighton hierarchy, I want to leave. It seems like we're in a stalemate. And do you know what? I'm truly in the belief that Brighton's doing too much. Brighton is honestly doing too much. Do you know what? I think eventually we will meet that 80 million target, which I think is fair value, right? Wouldn't you guys say? Nearly 150 of you guys are live already. Big up to each and every one of you guys. Big up to Rupak. Big up to iTest Merchant. Big up to Levis Lane, Dexter, Chase, Shubra, my brother, Blood, Mike, CAA Mafia. Big up to each and every one of you guys. CAA Mafia, it's cold out there, Miz. Yeah, man, it is cold. Like, that's why I got the jacket on and I got the heater on. It's fairly cold, man. And yeah, I don't want to freeze while I do the live stream. Big up to you, Ryan, as well. Emmanuel, Italy, the Blues, Lamogolo. Hopefully, I've pronounced that correctly. Prenay, Amato. Big up to each and every one of you guys, honestly. So, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, do you think 80 million, which I feel Chelsea will eventually reach with their next bid, whenever that's coming up? I don't even know what happened to the face-to-face meeting. Did the face-to-face meeting actually take place? That was meant to be the next thing. We've got Brighton coming up in the next match in the preseason, as I just said earlier on. It's an issue. It's definitely an issue. It doesn't bode well for the player. Doesn't look good for us. But I feel like Valan is saying, Miz, what's up with the jacket? It's cold, man. It's very cold. That's why I got the jacket on, Valan. But yeah, I feel like if we reach 80 million on Caicedo, that is market value. Like, that is good value for Moises Caicedo. For a talented player, we're not okay. Initially, like you do with every deal, right? You don't go out there and just put your final offer in the first go. You work up to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you start off with low, which in this case we tried to lowball Brighton, but that's the strategy, right? That's the strategy. You slowly work up to it. But I think once you hit 80 million plus add-ons, let's say 10 million in add-ons, that's 90. Like, that should be enough. Brighton have held Moises Caicedo. They've held Moises Caicedo as a hostage now. They want 100 million, looks like, because their head has turned because of what has transpired with Declan Rice. But I feel like it's a bit too much. Like, you're making the player upset. You're making us upset. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to deal with you ever again. On top of that, you keep insisting and persisting in regards to Levi Colwell. Like, that's a bit too much. Brighton, you're a selling club. Like, when did you start acting like you're some top dog? You're a selling club. You're not one of the biggest dogs out there. You're not a huge European super powerhouse. Your players will be sold. That's how it works, Brighton. If you didn't catch the memo, Your players will be sold. Mitoma will be sold. Enciso will be sold. Evan Ferguson will be sold. Every player that you buy will be sold if they perform well, because you're a selling club. You're not one of the big dogs. Players don't go to Brighton to retire there. Right? Players go to Brighton because, one, Brighton give opportunities to, talents that are untapped, and two, Brighton play good football. And Brighton's whole model is, to sell the players for a lot of money, and keep just investing into the team and keep producing talents and keep selling. That is Brighton motto. Brighton aren't there to win titles. That's not in their remit. They're not there to win the titles. They'll try, of course they will. So for me, 80 million, like, I'm pretty certain we're going to reach 80 million. Some people have been saying in the live chat, even 70 million. But fair enough. We did try to lowball them in the initial stages, which is how you do any sort of negotiations anyway. But now it's getting too much. Now it's getting to the point where you got to let the player go. The player should have been. One second, guys. Yeah. The player should have been a Chelsea player already. He should be in the Chelsea squad already. And yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And I think it's quite unreasonable for Brighton to hold him as hostage and wanting 100 million just because Declan Rice went for 100 million. Well, I don't think we're going to pay 100 million. That's how I look at it. I still believe he will be a Chelsea player. I still think, because the player wants us, there are no other suitors at the moment going after him. So I still believe it's us. But there will come a moment, there has to come a particular moment where if Chelsea places the final bid, which is, let's say, 80 million guaranteed fee and 10 million add-ons, let's just say we reach 90 million. And if Brighton reject that, then what? Then what, ladies and gentlemen? Then we're gonna have to move on with it. We're gonna have to let this situation just go by. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea Empire, thank you so much for the super chat. They won't make it easy on Winston Lee on purpose. Yeah, perhaps you're right. They probably won't make it easy on him. I thought maybe having a Brighton person in the hierarchies for us might potentially help us land this particular player, but that doesn't seem to be the case. That truly does not seem to be the case. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. The next few days will showcase to us exactly what's going to happen. I don't expect anything to sort of change until the Brighton game. If I'm being absolutely honest, things are very slow at the moment. The latest we heard from Ben Jacobs, I'm going to just bring this up. This is the latest, ladies and gentlemen, from Ben Jacobs. Moises Caicedo has told Zerbi and some members of Brighton's hierarchy directly he wants to leave more tomorrow. Chelsea haven't placed the third bid yet. This is coming from Ben Jacobs. I'm not even sure if it's the third bid. I'm pretty certain we've already done 3. There was a 60 million one. There was apparently a 65. There's definitely a 70. And this final one, which makes me think this is the 4th one. So, Moises Caicedo, it's difficult on him as well. And I think so far he's done the right thing. Do you know what I mean? Like he wanted to leave in January, and that didn't end up happening. And let me just see what's going on. For some reason, all the messages have for some reason stopped. I can see the messages on YouTube, but on StreamYard, I can't bring your comments. For some reason, it's all paused. Let me see if I can sort this out. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. What happens if I go... Should I refresh? I don't want to press refresh. But I think I might have to press refresh. Yeah, I'm just going to press refresh. Just hang in there with me, guys. Can you guys see me now? Can everyone see me? Yeah, I can definitely see myself in the live in the YouTube page. For some reason, the comments are not coming up on StreamYard, which is quite annoying. If it's not coming up in StreamYard, then I can't bring it up on the screen. But maybe I can just check out from... yeah, that sucks. I think I missed the super chat. Sorry about that. It's just not coming up on StreamYard. I don't know why. There's a few super chats here. Kingsley Tomb, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Baghdad Iqbali will sort out Mr. Bloom. Yes, I hope so. I hope so. If there is a meeting, that's going to happen. But yeah, all right. I'll do my level best by looking at the YouTube screen and check out your comments. Okay, let's carry on. Smash the like button, guys. Get those likes up to well over 400 if you can. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. But yeah, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, how you feel about this situation at the moment with Caicedo and Brighton. For me, I feel like we shouldn't bend over backwards and just pay whatever Brighton wants. I think we're doing the right thing. We're eventually going to hit 80 million. I'm pretty certain that will be the final bid, and that's probably the fair value for Caicedo. After that, it's really up to Brighton how they want to deal with us. If they don't want to give the player to us even after 80 million, then we'll be left with no choice but to move on, I suppose. And I don't know, man. That would be a disaster for us as well as them, because the player, I think, has done everything possible to please Brighton. He wanted to leave in January, stuck around, signed a new contract as well, had a gentleman's agreement with the Zerbi and Brighton hierarchies that I'll stick around for the entirety of the season, help them to reach Europa League. And, now the summer window, he was promised that he was going to be let go of, and it's not happening as yet. So you've annoyed the player, you've annoyed us. And I think Caicedo is right. Like, this will be a record-breaking transfer fee incoming for Brighton. So this is what you get. This is what you get, because Brighton, they're floating now. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much eyes on Brighton at the moment. Everyone enjoys their level of football. Everyone likes all the different superstars that are coming out of Brighton Football Club. So they're a bit loopy. They're a bit loopy in the head. It's got to them. So they want to try and act like they're a big club. And this is an issue. This is an absolute issue. So we'll see what happens. Lucky saying, Miz, I love what we are doing, because if you go out and pay money like that, teams will see us like a fool, and we know the player himself wants out, so they can't keep an unhappy player. Yeah, they can't keep an unhappy player. Spartan saying Caicedo and Santos are looking good for now, but they can't keep up this level for the whole season. Yeah, look, I mean, I want Santos and Cesare Caicedo, both of them, if it is possible for them to stick around at Chelsea Football Club and be the backups to Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo if we do get Caicedo. But you're right, like, we can't have Santos and Cesare Caicedo leading the line for us along with Enzo Fernandez. Like, we can't have them start week in, week out. They're 18-year-old, they're kids. I don't mind them getting the minutes off the bench, the odd starts here and there, and being part of the first team. But to give them the responsibility to run our midfield, I don't think that's wise at all. Brighton will dominate Caicedo and Santos. Now, do you know what? I swear, I get the feeling we're going to pump Brighton. In this upcoming match in the preseason, I feel we are going to absolutely obliterate Brighton. We have to. We must. We deserve it. We deserve it. I feel like we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them. We're going to beat them quite smartly as well. We need at least one top midfielder. Agreed, Shubra. We definitely need at least one top midfielder. Shubra saying, I think this midfield would be enough. Enzo, Caicedo, Santos, Caicedo, Chuku, even Reece can chip in. I think that will be enough. I really do think that will be enough. That's quite a strong midfield. All of them have something interesting to give. CAA Mafia saying, I hope you're right, Miz. I Test Merchant saying, I don't think so. Brighton are still better than us. Look, yeah, they may be better than us, of course, at the moment, but I think our players, they've got this fire in their belly. I feel like there's something to prove. So I wouldn't put it past us to absolutely smoke Brighton. Miz, I'm a Man United fan. Don't you make top six? Don't you make top six? If you don't make top six, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Spurs, and Newcastle are all better than you. Okay, well, fair enough. You're comparing us from last season. We'll see. We'll see what happens this season, my man. Don't disregard us too early. Do you worry about the lack of experience in the midfield? Yes and no, I suppose. Yes, in the sense that how many of these players have been through the hard yards and seen, real pressurized time and then being able to pull out of that? Probably not that many. But at the same time, you've got players like Enzo Fernandez who are a World Cup winner. If we hopefully get Caicedo, he's been in the Premier League for about a season and a half. So, it's exciting. It's exciting to have all of these players under Pochettino. Pochettino is an experienced campaigner, so I'm pretty sure he'll guide these players accordingly. And our senior players will also have to help out to guide them too. So, look, yeah, in a sense, you can be worried, but at the same time, you have to be excited as well. So that's how I look at it. Jerry Z, Ms. Brighton's attacking approach will work in our favor, allowing us to unleash devastating counterattacks. Get ready for an exciting game. Yeah, hopefully they play that open game, high line, and we can exploit those space. I'm more interested to see some of our players that didn't get an opportunity in the first game. I think this game they'll come into the frame in the likes of Noni Madueke, Mudryk, Enzo Fernandez, so Lewa Colwell. So all of these players will come in. Reece James hopefully will come in as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just bring up that particular footage if I can. Here we go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We all wanted to know, where is Reece James? When is he going to join the preseason squad? He should be in the United States right now. I think they're going to Philadelphia now. So this was, I think, nearly 13 hours ago. People have pictured him in the airport off to United States. So I don't think he's going to participate against Brighton. I don't know, maybe some minutes off the bench perhaps, but it's good to have him. He needs to get on with it immediately, try and get those minutes under his belt, get fit, and get ready for a huge season. So, yeah, look, let's see, man. I think we should be looking good against Brighton. CFC Blue, Caicedo looked very solid and looked like he belonged in the first team, and Gabriel looks very promising, and we should consider keeping him around to challenge Noni. Yeah, look, I like Gabriel. I want to see, before I make a judgment on Angelo Gabriel, very good first outing against Wrexham. He looked polished. Seriously, Angelo Gabriel looked very polished. But I want to hold my judgment on Angelo Gabriel until the end of this preseason. I want to see exactly what he does game in, game out. Hopefully he keeps getting the minutes, which I think he should. And then, yeah, why not have him as a competition for Noni Madueke? Of course. I think he's probably good enough to take over from Noni Madueke. Hopefully Reece doesn't pick up an injury on flight. Yeah, hopefully he doesn't. Eddie is saying, hey, Miz, I hope Chelsea dismantles Brighton on Saturday for making the Caicedo deal complicated. It'll be a strange outing. Not just the Caicedo thing, but they want Levi Colwill. So how's Levi Colwill going to fare in that game against Brighton? Is Caicedo even going to face us? Will he probably be, I don't know, rested? You never know, because obviously he's in the market. His transfer is quite openly displayed, I suppose. So he may not even feature. He may not even risk being played, so that obviously he doesn't get injured and jeopardize the move. But I wonder how things will be with Levi Colwill. The only thing I'll say about Levi Colwill, ladies and gentlemen, look, I hope he competes. I think Levi Colwill will feature in this particular match, and I hope he competes well, which I think he will. He's a professional. But I'm just worried because he'll get to see his teammates from Brighton, and obviously he'll say hello and he'll take pictures with them. It's quite natural to do that because you were at Brighton. But I'm just worried that how social media are going to react to all of that, man, because he's always getting done in social media for certain reactions. So I hope Levi Colwill is somewhat mindful that he doesn't overdo his love for Brighton a bit too much in front of the cameras. So because you know the media will write up a lot of stuff. So yeah, it is going to be interesting. Caicedo on one side, Levi Colwill on the other side. Of course, we don't want to let go of Levi Colwill. We've categorically said he's going nowhere, but Brighton seems to be quite insistent on going after Levi Colwill. Wrexham are a Division 4 team. I don't put no stocks in the last game. Now, look, I get it. This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You can only judge what's been put in front of you. Take away their level of football. Just watch the way we played. Like, for instance, the way Nicholas Jackson, how he drove the ball through the middle, the way he found space. Like, just judge the players on their individual, decisions that they made in the game. Yes, the opposition weren't that great, but look at the way how they made their decisions. Look at the way they were moving. I think that's where I was getting, a little bit of heart from those players. Of course, Brighton is going to be a bigger challenge. After Brighton, it's going to be Newcastle. That'll be an even bigger challenge. So we will see exactly what they're made of. But I don't want to discredit the team because it was Wrexham. Like, you can only do what is in front of you. And that particular match, I felt some of the individual performances were very good, were very polished. So I think it was good to see. You lot are too funny. You can't take positives from the game. Well, you can't enjoy it. I don't understand. Like, I think we've been fair with our assessment. We're not going over the top and saying, this kid is going to be the next big thing for this, that, the other. Okay, some people probably have been doing it on Twitter, but overall, we understand. We understand we need to stay calm, but appreciate what we've seen so far, and the attitude seems to be right. You best believe this Wrexham team last season, I tell you 100% we are losing to this Wrexham team 2-0. 2-0. This same Wrexham team, we are losing to them last season 2-0. So, that's a progress. Shubra, we struggled against Club America last preseason. Yeah, absolutely. What do you think of Mykhailo Mudryk and what he will do this season? Look, big season coming up for Mykhailo Mudryk. I think he's got the talent. He 100% has the talent. It's just a matter of how he can hone in on his talent and utilize it effectively in a consistent manner. So it's good having the talent, but if you don't know how to utilize your talent, then what's the point? What's the point, right? And then on top of that, knowing how to utilizing your talent and then utilizing it consistently, that's what makes you, stand out. So I think that's what should be the focus of Mudryk. I feel like, all the hard yards that he's put on after the season finished, he went straight away to the Euro under 21s championship. So, he's doing his level best to gain as much as fitness, match sharpness as possible. So, which is good to see. Miss, I could have sworn you said rectum and not Wrexham. Nah, Wrexham. It sounds so similar, doesn't it? Wrexham. Every time I say Wrexham, it does seem like I'm saying rectum. But I'm definitely not saying rectum. Zimaria is saying last season we won't give such a performance. The positives against Wrexham was too much to ignore. Yeah, of course. Let's take the positives and work on that towards the Brighton game. Chelsea all the way in the house. Of course, he's going to give me something negative to look at. Last season's squad would have struggled, but doesn't mean you start gassing after beating Wrexham. Of course, Chelsea all the way. This is Chelsea we are talking about. For F's sake, standards in the gutters. Yeah, look, from Chelsea all the way's perspective, let's beat the players up. Let's not talk about it. Let's just cancel all live streams, cancel all videos. Let's not do the watch along for that game. And let's just worry about the next one. Like if Chelsea all the way was a content creator, he wouldn't be talking about this game. He would not even do a watch along. He will just have his channel blank. And he will not talk to any of you guys. He will just say, "I'll meet you at Brighton. I'll meet you at Brighton." Come on, man. It's you gotta look at some of the positives as well. All right. Yes, it was Wrexham, but you can't just keep your eyes closed and say, "Okay, Cesare Caicedo didn't have a good game individually." Do you know what I mean? You can't close your eyes and go, "Oh, Andre Santos didn't have a very good outing." You can't close your eyes and go, "Oh, Nicholas Jackson didn't impress you in that first half." You can't close your eyes and go, "Oh, I didn't even notice Angelo Gabriel at all with the ball that way." Take aside the opposition. Just look at them individually. That's how I see it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, I just want to bring this particular news up. People wanted to know what is going on with Omari Hutchinson. Omari Hutchinson has completed a season-long loan to Championship club Ipswich Town. Look, I hope he doesn't get forgotten. I hope it's up to him now. It's up to him. It's up to him to impress. Hopefully, he gets a lot of minutes for Ipswich Town, much like how Ian Martin got for Burnley. Ian Martin became one of the most important players at Burnley. Hopefully, Omari Hutchinson can get a lot of minutes, can become one of the most important players for Ipswich Town, and then throws himself into the mix next season. I hope he doesn't become one of those forgotten kids, and eventually we just let go of him. It turns out to be like an Ampadu situation, loan after loan after loan. I hope he does well, and yeah, I'm keen. I want to watch along Ipswich Town watch-alongs next season. Indeed, Ipswich is my local, and they are on smoke. Josh Erie, there you go. There's an Ipswich Town fan in there. Itest Merchant, yeah, he needs to impress for his own career, not just his place at ours. Absolutely right. Chelsea all the way again, gassing after beating Wrexham. Imagine beating Madrid or Man City. Yeah, well, no, we don't have to imagine. We have beaten Man City and Real Madrid. So I think we're calm. You cannot see the brighter parts. Lucky is saying, Miz, what I love about this preseason is that we went with players who we need in the team. Unlike before, we go out with preseason with players who have no place in the team. Absolutely right, man. There's a lot of players in this preseason probably have a good chance. You're bang on. Previous seasons, we went into the preseason with a lot of players that we know they have no future at the football club. But this time around, you're right. Majority of the players, I think that was the mindset, to take players on this tour who actually have a genuine chance to crack it into Chelsea Football Club. So now you're absolutely right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys with another video later on tonight, UK time, wrapping up the day's news. Until then, everyone, take care and see ya.